scheme, as you guessed it, is this. And I'll post a picture now in the bottom down there, so that you can see what I'm talking about. So what we need to do today, and this is going to take a couple days, because I'm going to have to paint it one color and then go and let it dry, let it cure, and then come back and paint it the other color. So, you know, tape it off and everything. That way when I pull the tape off, it doesn't pull the paint. So it has to cure. So let me go get my tools and we will commence taking this apart. Alright, you're going to need a Phillips screwdriver to get these two screws out. Got that a little stubby because regular won't be too long. Going to need a small socket to get to the 5/16 radiator clamp there, and I got two here that attaches that to the filter. And then you're going to need 13mm to get to these, to take those off. So let me get you set up, let's get to it. Like I said, all it's going to take is a 13mm and a ratchet, or a wrench, your choice. Just a ratchet is easier. And we're going to be repainting these heads, so it's going to mar them up. But we're going to be repainting them the same color as the strut tower brace. So you just take all 6 screws out and then lift this off. Alright, here's a small list of things you're going to need. Sandpaper, because you're going to want to scuff this stuff up because the paint won't want to stick to it. Tape for the stripes so we can mark all that off and get them to look the same. And a measuring tape when we get that far. And of course paint. Now this I'm going to be painting black, and this is Duplicolor for the black car. So I thought, why not go ahead and tie the two in, right? So that's going to be that color, but we need something for that paint to stick to rather than just the bare metal. So I have some sandable primer. And then for the red, I've got the Victory Red, which matches that color, the red Camaro. It's an exact match. Victory Red for that. And then I've got the gloss white for the stripes. And I got clear coat so I can coat everything. And that's pretty much all you're going to need for this. Oh, and a piece of wire. And I'll show you that here in just a second. Alright, you may be asking, what is the wire for? Well, this is what it's for. You're going to paint this. Well, how are you going to handle it? How are you going to lay it down, you know, and have a good coat of paint on here? Well, what you do is you make a slight hook on the end, like that. Stick it through. And now you have something to hold it by while you paint it. And you can put another hook on the other end to hang it on something. Say like if this is just for instance, but I can hang it right there to dry. But that's the purpose of the wire. I will actually be hanging it from right here so that it can dry. Let me show you. Hey, as you can see right there, it's not touching anything, it hangs perfect. Very, very simple, easy tip, and great way for you not to screw up your paint job. So let's get started. First thing you want to do is make sure your hands are clean. And of course, wipe off your project best you can. Now this doesn't have to be perfectly on the edges or anything because the hose is going to be covering up the end. So If you don't get it perfect, that's fine. Sandpaper, this happens to be 320 grit. You can get something finer if you so choose. But all you're going to do is scuff this up, because as I said, the paint will not want to stick to this shiny surface. And this has some scratches and stuff in it anyway, so it's about time to cover it up. That's all you're going to do is just sand it, scuff up the surface, which gives the primer something to stick to. You're not trying to sand the chrome off of it or polish off of it. You're just trying to scuff it up. That's all you're doing. As you can see, between there and there, you can tell the difference. This is good, that's not. After you get it sanded, you're going to want to come back and wipe it off again. And give it a once over to see if there's anywhere you missed, like right there and right there. So hit it again. This we're not worried about because the tubing comes all the way up on it. Then wipe it off again. Alright, now at this point, got it all wiped off, you're going to want to shake your paint and primer up really good. Always shake it. Now we're not going to be trying to cover this all in one coat. We're going to put a light coat on it, sand it, another coat on it, sand it, another coat on it, sand it. That way each of the sandable layers gets smoother and smoother, but yet provides a really good consistent surface for the paint to stick to. So for this coat, I'm not really going to worry about too much. But what we do want to do is cover up this hole and cover up the end of that, because we don't want any paint getting in there stopping anything up. Now what you're going to do when you spray paint, hold it about 8 inches away. Start off with the subject and end off the subject, whatever you're painting. You don't want to start and finish on here, because it's going to create a big splatter effect. You don't want that. So always test, shoot your paint and make sure there's nothing in the tip, and then just, you're not trying to coat the whole thing at one time, like I said. Once you get done with that section, roll it around, do another one. Alright, as you can see, got it sitting there drying. We'll come back to that in a little bit. But now let's get on to the big part, the actual strut tower brace. Now the principle is the same. We're going to sand this because, let's face it, it's not perfect. Plus it has oil and stuff on it from the factory. We're not going to worry about hitting this with primer, because we're going to be repainting all this the same color as this. So if we get any primer on this, we can just hit it again with the actual paint. So I'm not going to worry about taping it off. And as you can see, it needs to be touched up a little bit right there anyway. But it's the same principle. So let's get to it.
5 minutes later.
Alright, got it all sanded. And you're going to wipe it off, and you can see the dirt just wiping off. See how dirty it actually is for me doing that. If you come across anything like this, that's where you held it. So go back and hit that again. That's the oil from your skin. See? There. Just sand that off. Now as you can see, this sets up off, see, it's even there. As you can see, this sits up off the table when I have it right side up. So what we're going to do is we're going to prime the bottom first, flip it over, handling just the ends. Okay? Handling just the ends, we're going to flip it over, paint the bottom, the underneath, flip it back over, and then paint the top. The reason we're doing that is so this bottom will not be touching anything while it's in the drying process, because we're going to leave it right here and let it dry. Come back, sand it again, hit it again. I don't know, we'll do it 2, maybe 3 times, depending on how it feels after we get it done. Now that we are getting close to the finished product, I don't want to be laying it on the table picking up any trash or possibly hitting it with fingerprints. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and I'm going to stand it up like so. Hold it up at the top. I'll get you up here so you can see. I'm going to hold it up at the top. That way I can rotate it. Because we're going to be touching up this red anyway. So it doesn't matter if the red gets a little chipped or anything. So let's get to that. Sorry about that, I had to turn, you know. Wind was blowing the paint right to the GoPro. And I don't want my screen red on the GoPro. But that's what you're looking for first coat, something along that line. Okay? Just spin it and paint it, spin it and paint it. So I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of it, and we'll be back. And like that, that's it. Turned out pretty nice, didn't it? The red's real nice and shiny, the black's real nice and shiny. They all laid flat, so that's real good. It's all nice and smooth. So that's going to conclude this video, but in the next one I'm going to show you how to finish it off, because I've decided to go ahead and put the white stripes on it. So I'm going to show you how to figure out how to lay them out, figure out where they go, what size, all that good stuff, and how to paint this white without getting it on your red. Is it hard? No, but it takes a little bit of forethought. So with that said, you guys get out there and enjoy your car, even if it's something as simple as what I'm doing. I'm enjoying the crap out of this. I mean, something so cheap, I mean, 15 bucks, 2 cans of paint. Can't beat it. Changes the whole way your engine looks underneath, your whole engine compartment. But you guys get out there and enjoy your ride like I'm doing. It's yours, you paid for it. Do whatever you want, it don't matter. As long as you're enjoying it. So we'll see you next video. You guys have a great day and take care.
63136, 1029 for cruise.